Welcome to Park Bench Interviews, hosted by Randy Goodman, Harvey Callis Real Estate, your real estate professional. Get to know our community, our businesses, products, and services that will elevate your life. Please welcome your hostess, Randy Goodman.
Hey everybody, it's Randy Goodman from Harvey Callis Real Estate, and I am thrilled to be interviewing the one and only Liliana Guadagnoli, who is a Reiki master. She is a spiritual coach, an intuitive healer, and a managing partner of Soulnatomy. So thank you. Welcome to be here.
Thank you.
Love to have you, honey. Okay, so let's find out a little bit about who is Liliana.
Who is Liliana? I worked at York University for 40 years, so most of my life was working there. And then about 4 or 5 years ago, I realized that, I needed something new. And on the side, I was doing other work in the spiritual and holistic field. And so I decided to embark on that and leave the university after all those years. But they were well worth years because I learned through that. And because of that, I was able to start a business with Maria Grazia Bevilacqua called Soulnatomy. And that's where I started going in a different path, a spiritual path, a holistic, and to be able to help others, to give back to them, and whatever they're dealing with, to help them through the processes. And through that, I got to meet a whole new group of people. I am now also a 2-time international best-selling author. Thank you, Randy. Yes. And I'm just so thrilled. And I'm now working on a poetry book, which will be coming out within the next year. So as you could see, my life has turned into a different path, and I just absolutely adore it. Why? Because I can give to people something and share with them what I've dealt with, and give them an experience. As you always said, Randy, you tell your story so that others can be touched and inspired by that. And it'll be a lesson for them. And they know I can empower them by sharing what I have. And so that's what I love to do. I've been speaking as well, and doing a lot of other things. So I'll tell you a little bit more about Soulnatomy later.
Okay, perfect. So what compelled you? And I know you're partners with Maria, and we've already posted her interview, so you guys can check that out. But tell me, what were the catalysts? What actually got you guys to, or for you on your side, not Maria's side, but what actually pushed that envelope or made you actually step into action to create this?
Yeah. As I've indicated in my chapter that I did with you on empowering women to succeed, Bounce, what was the turning point in my life was when I wasn't feeling so good in 2009, around there. I had sciatica that was bothering me. I had to have a hip replacement. And so through those experiences, being in bed for so long, not being able to walk anymore. I mean, every time I talk about it, I get emotional because that to me was the most painful part of my life. And through that, I had to learn different things and being able to cope and being able to move ahead. And that's where my spirituality actually flourished. And I realized that using my Reiki skills, being able to talk to God, and get through this. And one step at a time I was. And so that was the turning point in my life that allowed me to be the catalyst to help others, because I knew that by myself, I wasn't able to do anything. And so by having others help me in terms of spiritual healers too, and my faith is actually what drove me to do what I'm doing today.
Okay. Yeah, you know what? Everybody has something different happen in their life, or different reasons for doing things. And it's always amazing to hear what drives people to do what they're passionate about. And, And I love that. So thank you for sharing that. So you mentioned that you worked at York University for 40 years. I mean, you don't look
Mhm.
old enough for that. So uh, why, like, what did you do there and why did you leave? Was it, you know, the fact that you were ill that caused you to leave,
Yeah.
or tell us a little bit about that
Yeah,
story?
that too. Um, 40 years of working at the university. I worked in various departments, but in the last 28 years, I
Mhm.
worked in the French studies department at the university. And it came a point where we all get tired of something, right? And so it wasn't something that I was thrilled about anymore. It just started dying down the interest. And so I was taking some courses, and from those courses, I learned that I create my life. I create it the way I want to do it. And so I said to myself, okay, this is a good time to start creating something that I want. And that's where I stopped working about 4 or 5 years ago. And that's where I embarked with my business partner. I got to know her. And so we, in 2007, we created Soulnatomy. And it's the holistic and spiritual aspect of life. And we also have retreats that we put on. And so based on that, it was a turning point, like I said earlier, in my life, which allowed me to take on and branch in a different direction. And believe it or not, a lot of people do that too, right? They're going, then all of a sudden they do a 360 and they go somewhere else, or 180, you know, and they take a different path. And that's exactly the path that I took. And I'm so, so happy that I did.
You know what? You guys are awesome together, and you're doing a lot of great work. So it's, you know, it was meant to be. That's all. You
Yeah.
know, like
Yeah,
sometimes we try different things in life,
absolutely.
and they work or they don't work, and then we try something else, and you know, you just end up for whatever reason
Yes.
doing
And
what you were supposed to do.
and you know, they say you're supposed to get up in the morning and jump out of bed and do whatever you need to do, meditate or pray or whatever that is. But I am so thrilled because I love what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
And when you love what you do, nothing gets in the way.
Exactly. Exactly. I love it. And you're excited about getting up
Oh
in the morning,
yes,
right?
absolutely, absolutely.
Like, okay, what are we gonna do today? And what's you know, go do all these things, and you just start
Exactly. Who
doing
can I make a difference for today? You know, and people come to me because of who I am.
it. Right.
You know, and I just love it. I just love it. If I can make a difference for someone, you know, at that moment, at that time, why not? You know,
Exactly.
it's just absolutely awesome.
So tell us a little bit about the services that you provide so that we can
Okay. Yeah.
understand who would be the right client for you.
Yeah, we have one-on-one personal coaching. We can do it in person. We've been doing it also on the phone, at a spiritual level. You know, coach in the sense of if people are dealing with something, it doesn't have to be always on a spiritual level. However, it boils back down to that. You know, you're sick one day and you don't know why. It's because of the situations that you're dealing with in life that cause you to have those problems. So we do one-on-one coaching, spiritual coaching. We also have retreats over the summer. We're trying to do it in the winter, but you know, people still are afraid to sort of leave in the wintertime to go for a one-day retreat, for example.
Right.
I have a cottage up north in Penetanguishene, and that's the base where we do our retreats in the summer. It's a 3-day retreat. I also have an electric boat, which people can experience the energies of the water. So that's the retreat section. We also offer courses, what we call energy health science courses. And that encompasses energy medicine, energy psychology, and Reiki. And people will get certification for that. We also go out and have meditation nights with individuals, other people in our field. They have their own community, so we get together and we do a meditation and we do actual readings. What readings entails is, you know, getting into and picking up what it is that individuals are dealing with. And if they're open to it, it's a group. We've had the largest group we've had was about 25 women.
Wow.
and people, men too. And so we do that so that people get a taste of what we do. And that's where, you know, they will then call us individually. So we've done a lot of those. What else do we do? Oh yes, we do workshops as well,
Okay.
with specific topics. And we go to events as well that we get invited to, and you know, we present what we do in our field, and tapping into our energy fields and so forth. So I think that's about it, what we do.
Okay, that's awesome. So there's a lot of different services and ways that you're able to help people. And can you share your website with us?
Yes, it's www.soulnatomy.com. It's spelled, it's like soul anatomy without the A in anatomy. So soul, SOULNATOMY.
Perfect. And I love how you explain that because it makes sense. Right?
Yeah.
That makes sense. So Liliana, I know you love to be involved in the community. Can you tell us some of the things that you've done to be connected over the years? Volunteer,
Yeah,
charitable.
I'm also involved in what we call the Butterfly Project. And the Butterfly Project is a nonprofit organization which helps individual single parents who have children under 18 that need a little bit of a boost in support. And so the committee, you know, has a selection process, and that individual then is announced publicly to the community. Well, it's once a year, and it's a one-time thing that the parent is involved in. And so what we do is, depends on what their needs are. If they need some schooling, then we will pay for some of their courses to be able to get them to a level where in society they could go and apply, right? And yeah, so that will also help their children, especially, you know how it's like when you're a single parent, you know, you're trying to make ends meet and you have little ones under 18, you know, and getting them to school and so forth. So it is really hard, and that's what I've been involved in. And what else have I done? There's a lot of things. Right now we're doing meditations over our Facebook page to be able to help people get through some of their stresses and their fears and anxiety that they're dealing with in life, you know. So that's our way of giving back to others, because it's not the money, Randy, it's who I can touch and make a difference for, who MG and I can make a difference for. So that's where my heart goes out, you know, and I give to people, you know, where the need is there.
Right, right. And I love that. It's beautiful, because especially like right now, what people are, you know, what the world is going through, and being able to touch so many different parts and people and individuals, and you know, being able to make a difference. And you never know, like, just how much of a difference you're going to make in someone's life, right?
Absolutely. And you know what? You don't need to be in our field to be able to do that. Anybody can do it, especially at this time, you know, in their crisis situation, right? So even just getting on the phone with someone saying, how are you doing? What are you dealing with? Is there something you need from me? That's really all it takes. And the other person will say, oh my God, somebody cares about me. I'm by myself at home, you know, and just talking to someone, that's all some people need to do. And so I encourage people, and it doesn't have to be right now what we're going through. It's any time in life. Reach out to someone. You don't even know who you're going to save, you know, because people's minds, you know, they get confused sometimes, and all they need to hear is someone else who really, really cares about them. And you know, even just talking about it, you know, it hurts me not knowing that others can do something for someone and they don't, you know. So yeah, that's the main thing that I would like to say to the community. Just reach out to people. I've had people who called me during this time, and I go, wow, they really care about me. You know, they really want to know what I'm up to. Like, do I need something? And even though I'm helping others, it's great to hear others, you know, calling me as well, you know. So I just love that. And that's what I encourage everyone to do, especially if somebody's sick, you know. just give them a call. How you doing? Is there anything I can do? Your energy of your voice and your words can actually land over there with the other person and make a difference for them. And that's one thing I want to share with everyone. Just pick up the phone sometimes and just, see what people are up to.
Yeah, and you're right, because you never know. Like, people will make an assumption, oh, they have lots of people, they don't want to hear from me, they don't care, they don't, whatever. It's not true. Like, people
It's so
are
true.
so appreciative of somebody reaching out to them,
Yeah.
and just knowing that someone was thinking about you, because we don't
Yes.
know people are thinking about us unless they tell us they're thinking about us, right?
Mm-hmm.
And don't
Absolutely.
assume that you think someone has a huge network, or they have a huge family, or they have,
Absolutely.
whatever your assumption is of that person. Don't make that assumption,
Yeah.
because you might be thinking the absolute wrong thing that's not true at all. And that person may really desperately need someone reaching out to them, and you just saved their life, or made a difference, or put a smile on their face, or whatever it is. Like, pick up the phone. Don't think, oh, I haven't talked to them in so long, they're going to be so mad at me that I
Yep.
didn't call them. Don't think like that. Like, just think in the moment, what you're doing is a good thing, and reach out, because yes, you're going to make a difference in so many people's lives. I love that, Liliana.
Yes. And the other thing too is, you hear about this person, oh, I should have called them. Now they're in the hospital, right?
Yep.
Or whatever, they're sick, or they're bedridden. So before it gets to that point, make sure you pick up the phone. Like, if it was me that hadn't heard from someone for a long time and they call me, I'm not going to get upset. If then I'm going to be so happy, so thrilled that someone has still thinking of me, so look at it that way. So just pick up the phone, people, just go make a difference. Even if you call 1 or 2 people every day, or even more if you can, just go out and make the difference. It's who we are as human beings, helping others. Really, that's the bottom line.
Exactly. I try to do that. It's like, okay, who am I going to call today? Even if it's one call,
That's it.
making one new call a day. If you can make more, great. If you can't, your day's crazy, just think, like, who's that one call that I can make to somebody? Maybe I haven't talked to them in a while, or maybe I know they're alone and going through stuff or whatnot. And all you have to do is be an ear.
Absolutely.
Right?
And you don't even have to say anything. Let them even, talk. Just by talking, that's already an energy release, right?
Yeah.
That's been bottled up. So that is an opportunity for someone to vent, or an opportunity to say what they're up to. That's all they need. And believe it or not, that is healing in itself, right?
Yeah.
For those that don't know, just talking to someone, just having them vent, let them talk. It may take a half hour, whatever that may be, but you're making a difference for someone, and that is a healing. That's healing.
Yes. And people need that. Like, you don't know what's going on in their head. Like, I'll tell a really quick one. There was a boy who was walking home with a ton of books in his hand from school. And he was the kind of kid who got picked on at school. So he was pretty miserable. And another kid was walking by the other way and saw that this kid had dropped their books, and went over and helped them pick up their books. And the next day at school, the bullied kid went to the other kid who had helped him and said, I was actually going home and I was going to kill myself because I was so miserable. And you saved my life by, doing that kind gesture, because nobody was being kind to me. And, you made such a difference for me. And sorry, it wasn't the next day, it was a little while later. And you just don't know what that kind act is. Holding the door for someone, smiling at somebody.
Exactly.
Like, it
and
doesn't
it doesn't
have to be huge.
cost anything. It doesn't cost anything, so that's exactly what I meant. You don't want to hear of somebody then in the hospital, or someone who takes their own life, you know, and then you wonder, oh, what could I have done? Well, excuse me, if you had picked up the phone maybe, or done a good gesture towards someone, that just one gesture can make the whole difference for someone. And believe it or not, their children, how old were they?
The kids, they were high school kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and believe it or not, it can happen even to the young children.
Yeah.
We don't believe that they go through stress. They do.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe at a different level, but stress is stress, right? So even children, so even parents that have children, if they see something that's not normal, do something about it, you know? And why not? Let's save as many people as we can, you know, from going down that path.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much. So please share with us again your website.
Sure. www.soulnatomy.com, SOULNATOMY.
Thank you. Thank you. And that was awesome. Thank you for sharing with us. And thank you for being on with us here. We're going to have all your links on the page.
Oh, perfect. And one thing I did forget, I also do angel card readings, which is important to me, right? And when you said, what do we do? So I also do that. I just love it because the cards are absolutely in line with whatever the person's dealing with, you know, and I want to be able to help them also, you know, through that modality.
Okay, so there you go, guys. And you know how to connect with Liliana, and you can check out everything that they do.
Yeah.
And please connect. And, you know, this is the time to make more connections and really make a difference in people's lives and make a difference in your own life. So thank you again, Liliana, for being on with us.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to this interview hosted by Randy Goodman. We hope you will take action and connect with the incredible business people and leaders in our community. And remember, Randy is always here to answer any questions you have regarding your real estate needs. Be sure to register on the website and stay up to date on what's happening in your area at parkbench.com/millpond.